This should be my stream intro for the next like month. Bro, this is crazy. What specific policy would you use to alleviate issues with like childcare in the United States?
Has delivered meaningful change. If you win in November, can you commit to prioritizing legislation to make childcare affordable? And if what specific piece of legislation will you advance?
Well, I would do that, and we're sitting down. You know, I was somebody, we had Senator Marco Rubio, and my daughter Ivanka was so impactful on that issue. It's a very important issue. But I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, that, because look, childcare is childcare. There's something, you have to have it. In this country, you have to have it. But when you talk about those numbers compared to the kind of numbers that I'm talking about by taxing foreign nations at levels that they're not used to, but they'll get used to it very quickly. And it's not going to stop them from doing business with us, but they'll have a very substantial tax when they send product into our country. Those numbers are so much bigger than any numbers that we're talking about, including childcare, that it's going to take care. We're going to have, I look forward to having no deficits within a fairly short period of time, coupled with the reductions that I told you about on waste and fraud and all of the other things that are going on in our country. Because I have to stay with childcare. I want to stay with childcare, but those numbers are small relative to the kind of economic numbers that I'm talking about, including growth, but growth also headed up by what the plan is that I just told you about.
I'm pretty sure he's just saying he'd pay for it with tariffs, but he's so stupid he gets distracted by his own words a little. But like he might be trying to go there. But here's the thing: I'd bet my entire life on this. If you were to ask Donald Trump, hey, because I think in this incoherent ramble at some point.
Any numbers that we're talking about, including childcare, that it's going to take care. We're going to have, I look forward to having no deficits within a fairly short period of time.
He has no idea what the difference is between the trade deficit, our budget deficit, and the national debt. He has no clue what the difference is between any of those three numbers, guaranteed. When somebody said that if we, actually, oh my God, I just figured out a huge reason why he's big in pro-tariffs. I just understood it. Somebody probably told him that if you tariff enough, the deficit will go away, our trade deficit, which is true, that would probably happen. And then he's thinking like budget deficit, which is a separate thing. That's the total amount of expenditures versus income received by the federal government. Well, the budget deficit will go away, which will probably somehow get rid of the debt because debt and deficit sound the same. The debt is just the outstanding unpaid financial instruments or whatever, treasury bonds and all that shit from the U.S. Treasury, right? He probably thinks that tariffs equals no more debt. I guarantee you, I understand it all now. That's what's happening in his mind. I've become the retard whisperer. That's exactly what he thinks. Oh my God, I figured it out. That's why he's so huge on this tariff thing. Do you think Trump will try to run a third time if he loses? I didn't think he would run this time. Didn't I say that last time? There's no way Trump would run again. He'd be so old. I feel like I might have said that. I don't know. I think I've asked this before. I don't remember. I mean, I feel like there's no way that he would try to run after losing twice. But even after losing once, I can't believe he's running again. But who knows? I would say, I'll reiterate, I think what I said last time, there's no way he would run again, but who the fuck knows? The problem is there's no one who can replace Trump right now. Nobody. Maybe Donald Trump Jr., but nope. So who knows what happens from here with him and the MAGA tards. Do you think that swing state voters might be creeped off of voting for Trump because of the recent Russian indictment or won't make much difference? I don't know what an independent voter's mind even looks like right now, who's undecided between Trump and Kamala. I don't know what issues they're weighing or what matters to them. If you're a Republican, nothing about Russia. Like, Putin could literally come down and write these people checks in person and they wouldn't believe it because the Russiagate thing has rotted their minds. Both Russia and the MAGA fasci fucks have been like incredibly successful at weaponizing that whole issue. So any foreign policy stuff is immediately just like, or any foreign intervention is like Russiagate. Point blank question, does the MAGA movement die if Trump doesn't get elected again? Not like die completely, but yes, of course. That MAGA movement it's a cult. It would be like me selling Destiny GG LLC to another streamer and just saying like, hey guys, here's the new streamer, good luck. Like, it just doesn't work that way, right? MAGA is Trump. When you were a libertarian, did they have anti-establishment takes over things like vaccines and foreign policy? Yes, way back in the day. But there is a huge, huge, huge difference. There is a huge difference, okay? When somebody says they're a libertarian today, and that's why they oppose the vaccines, them being a libertarian has nothing to do with them opposing the vaccines. They just don't trust any medicine because they're fucking retarded, right? A libertarian from 15 years ago would have given you the same position. They would have said the government absolutely should never be able to compel you to take vaccines. This is against, like, you know, your individual freedoms. But then they would say, but you're retarded if you don't get vaccinated. Like, even on Penn and Teller's bullshit, pretty sure they did a whole ass episode on, I think, vaccines. I think they had an episode on this, on like season 2 or something.
Hi, I'm Penn, and this is my. I'll use their words.
And I think Penn was probably one of the more popular mainstream, like, libertarian-ish people at the time.
13.
So, like, my guess is going to be, if you would ask him at the time, should the government compel vaccines? My guess is he would say no as a libertarian, but they would say that, like, for the principled stance of small government or not infringing on rights or not aggression, whereas we can't force people to do things at gunpoint or whatever. But the libertarians of today just don't trust anything. So they'll pretend or they'll pander or they'll grift on libertarians, like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. But they don't actually, they just don't trust the vaccines or whatever, or they don't trust medicine, or they're just retarded.
To board a school bus this morning while it was traveling to a school. The superintendent for the Humboldt del Zura Union School District informed parents of that incident earlier today. It happened at one of the stops on the school district's bus route that heads to Oak Grove Middle School and Humboldt Primary. Meanwhile, yesterday afternoon in a similar area along...
Illegal aliens tried to hijack 2 buses full of kids in San Diego. Border czar Harris owns this mess. Okay, wait, can I ask a quick question? Do we have anybody in the U.S. government called a czar, or is this just like a thing that conservatives use against, like, Democrats as like an insult word? Is that positions in government? Do we have czars in our government? It's a meme. Okay. I feel like I heard that a lot was it under Trump? Czar is a name occasionally used informally, I believe. Ron Klain was Obama's Ebola czar. Okay.
Another route. A group of migrants tried to board a school bus this morning while it was traveling to a school. The superintendent for the Humboldt del Zura Union School District informed parents of that incident earlier today. It happened at one of the stops on the school district's bus route that heads to Oak Grove Middle School and Humboldt Primary. Meanwhile, yesterday afternoon in a similar area along another route, the superintendent says that a group of migrants tried to stop another bus. Border Patrol, CHP, and the sheriff's office have now been informed of these incidents. The superintendent says that for the safety of everyone, if a driver sees a group of migrants at a bus stop, they will drive past it and move on to the next.
Okay, so unless there's more to this story? So it sounds like they tried to board a bus, which they shouldn't be. But the title of this is Illegal Aliens Tried to Hijack 2 Buses? Wait, so was this just like people trying to catch a free ride? Or were these people trying to hijack? Where does this hijack thing come from? What? Were they going to 9/11 the buses? I feel like if you were trying to hijack a school bus, I feel like it would be super easy. You just go to a corner where you see some kids and hold them hostage. Like, they're fucking kids. They're kids. How do you fail at this? God, this platform is dog shit. This is such a dog shit platform for media. My God. In the UK, school buses sometimes give members of the public a ride. It might legit just be cultural differences. I have no idea. Maybe. I don't know. Do they really in the UK? That sounds... I was going to say that sounds weird or dumb, but I don't know. Maybe it could be normal. I don't know. Maybe they have like normal buses that ride kids around. Who knows?